Renewable energy sources for vaccination fridges in Fiji. Electricity is a heavily relied upon and essential part of everyday life, and is defined as the transfer of electrons through a conductor. The medical centres in Fiji are in desperate need of a renewable energy source which has the power to run vaccination fridges. These vaccination fridges must be kept between 2 and 80 degrees Celsius, or else the vaccines inside could lose their immunogenicity, which is their ability to affect the human immune system. These vaccines are essential in protecting and maintaining the health of many people on the island. This is why we're proposing bioenergy and tidal energy as renewable energy sources, as we believe they are reliable and have the power to keep these vaccinations cool. These energy sources suit the island's natural landscape, as the Fijian islands are surrounded by tidal water and have quickly growing vegetation. By implementing either of these systems, these remote medical centres will be equipped and ready to confidently vaccinate the people on the island. Bioenergy is a renewable energy source that uses organic matter to produce energy. Over the years, scientific improvements have been made to make bioenergy a more reliable and smarter source of energy that can now include a variety of organic materials to produce energy. Some organic matter used to create bioenergy is wood waste, living or recently living plants, grains, starch crops, agricultural residue, food waste, animal byproducts, and forestry materials. These organic materials that are used to create energy are referred to as feedstock. To produce energy, feedstock needs to be converted into a renewable energy source through different processes. There are multiple ways to convert feedstock into a usable energy form, which is also an advantage to bioenergy, as you can select the type of conversion process that would work best for the feedstock available to you. However, before the conversion process takes place, the waste matter is conditioned and metal, glass, and other materials are removed. Bioenergy has numerous advantages. It has a minimal impact on the environment, as Fiji has a lush, fast-growing landscape where the organic material taken would be quickly replaced. It is a good way of managing waste disposal, and the technology is well established. It emits no greenhouse gases, and the cost to produce this form of energy is a third of what it would cost to produce a non-renewable source such as coal. The resources needed for this type of energy are available in large quantities, especially in areas like Fiji. The cost to build the bioenergy establishments can be quite high, and they require a lot of space. Depending on the source of feedstock used, bioenergy could lead to deforestation, unnatural land alteration, and cropland degradation. Some bioenergy burning mechanisms also don't have proper ventilation, which could lead to health concerns. Tidal energy is a type of renewable hydro energy in which the kinetic energy supplies the movement of the water and surrounding air to harness and supply energy. There are 3 different types of turbines used to harness the energy. These are tidal barrages, fences, and turbines. The barrages are like a chamber in which a turbine is placed inside, and it uses the potential energy, both low and high tide, to either compress the air within the chamber or to rotate the turbine to create energy. Tidal fences and turbines both use the kinetic energy from tides to spin a turbine, which then supplies the generator with energy that is converted to electricity. The difference between high tide and low tide is used to gain this energy, and the water should increase by at least 5 meters in height from low to high tide in order to harness this energy. All power plantations must be established on the coastline. Tidal energy has numerous advantages. Due to the vastness of the ocean, deciding to harness from such a natural source is easy and accessible. Tidal energy is known to be one of the most efficient types in the world, with an efficiency rating of approximately 85%, compared to coal, who has an energy rating of 37%, and solar energy, with a range of 15 to 40%. Tidal energy is extremely efficient. The fact that tidal energy is so efficient means that the majority of the energy put into the turbines can be used in the medical centre to keep the crucial vaccines cool. Hence, each turbine is a valuable source of energy, and only a select few will be needed to power the medical centres, which will then save money for Fiji in the long run. Tidal energy is also the most predictable type of energy due to the fact that we can monitor the tide and the fact that they will always exist. Tidal energy plants can have some large upfront costs and may disturb some marine wildlife as tide energy is built underwater. The largest problem with tidal power is the fact that electricity can only be collected through tidal surges, which only occur about 10 hours each day, which roughly equals 42% of the day. There is also one simple difficulty that the island of Fiji specifically faces, which is the height difference in tides needed for tidal energy to be produced. We observed that at the start of this week in Suva, there was only an average increase of 1.2 metres. The low and high tide need a height variation of 5 metres. However, this may be difficult to achieve due to the fact that Fiji is in a cluster of islands. This means the water would therefore be shallower and many points of land would erect from underneath the surface, making the coastlines shallower.
For the Fiji medical centres within remote villages, a renewable way to keep their critical vaccines cool is a necessity for the welfare of their villagers. The theory of using tidal and bioenergy sounded promising in these remote areas. Our initial idea was to create a system in which the tides were at the forefront creating energy, and this will be backed by bioenergy. We have now discovered that the coastline of Fiji is too shallow for tidal energy, and the height variation in the tides do not exceed 5 metres. Therefore, tidal energy cannot be a solution at this present time. But with improvements set to be made on the system in future years, the islands may see the installment of such a plantation in the near future. Bioenergy is a perfect source of energy for the island due to the fact that most remote villages are surrounded by large amounts of luscious vegetation and forest. By Fiji using a sustainable type of energy, it means that they will bring awareness to the nation about sustainability and climate change. If Fiji uses a renewable energy source, they can reduce their carbon footprint and help reverse the effects of climate change. Because Fiji is made up of islands, climate change will severely affect their nations. Within the span of 50 years, the islands will have a large chance of being fully submerged underwater. And before that happens, many cases of wild weather will swoop through Fiji, just like Cyclone Winston and its devastating effects.
We know that renewable energy can make a difference, and we are ready to fly overseas to Fiji and make ours.